And another thing, if you notice, I'm wearing the same shirt. This is my third video today. I had some more time, so I thought I'd make another one. And what I will talk about is free will, free choice. I'm also going to read this text message I just got. All right. Very well. So, the mastery of self. I'm using the forward-facing camera, which is reversed apparently, so it doesn't work like that, does it? There you go. No. This book is called The Mastery of Self by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. It comes from the family of the Four Agreements. If you are not familiar with the Four Agreements, then I will tell you about the Four Agreements, but not right now. Maybe right after I finish recording this one, I will tell you about the Four Agreements, because that one is a good one. This one, The Mastery of Self, is about, what do you think? Mastering yourself. Quote on the back from Lao Tzu. He who masters others is wise. He who masters himself is enlightened. That's the point. Camera's over here. Look at the camera. How much can I read of a thing? Am I allowed to read everything on here? Was there copyright issues? I don't know. Let me just read the back of this for you. The ancient Toltecs believed that life, as we perceive it, is a dream. We each live in our own personal dream, and these come together to form the dream of the planet, or the world in which we live. Most of us strive to live happy and peaceful lives, but the dream of the planet is full of mental and emotional traps that can knock us off balance and keep us bound in a prison of suffering. In The Mastery of Self, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. teaches that much of our suffering occurs when we forget that we are the architects of our own reality, and we have the power to change our dream if we choose. In this book, he offers us the tools to break free from the chains of suffering, including the toughest chains to break, the ones we have created for ourselves. Camera's over here. We have created chains for ourselves. What's addiction but a chain? What is conditioning and programming patterning but chains? What are the chains that Ebenezer Scrooge is building for himself? And Jacob Marley, what are these chains you wear? As he says to Jacob. Good book, A Christmas Carol. Okay, so in part of this breaking of these chains, breaking these cycles and conditioned responses and such, we need to become aware, as I talk about. Every time I open my mouth, I'm talking about awareness. And without awareness, we are not free. And one other thing, I don't remember, I wrote it down, I got a whiteboard over here. Choices made based on fear are not free choices. A free choice is free of fear, etc. I don't remember that was in here. Was that in here? There's something I was reading the other day. I don't remember where it was. I think it might have been Mastery of Self. But something I was reading or listening to the other day, I drew that off of that. But I thought it was interesting. If you are making a choice based on fear, then you're not free, because you are under the influence of fear. And so when we make a totally free choice, it's based on our preference. It's what we want to happen or what we want to avoid happening. We might make a choice to do something to avoid something else from happening, but it's about what we truly want ourselves. But a lot of what we do is based on something external, like fear. And so is it really a free choice? If someone is holding a gun to your head and they tell you to do something and you choose to do it, are you doing it out of your own free will? Would you have done it if the gun wasn't there? If someone comes up to you and holds a gun up, and this is violent, I'm sorry for that, if that's something that's upsetting to you. So they threaten you. If someone threatens you and they say, do this thing, and you choose to do it, you did choose to do it. You used your free will to make that choice, but you did it under fear. So I guess the argument here is that it's not truly a free choice, because you wouldn't have made that same decision. If they say, give me your wallet, you give them your wallet. If they weren't threatening you in any way, someone just walked up to you and said, hey, give me your wallet, would you have given them your wallet? That would be a true free choice in that moment, I guess, because it's not influenced by fear. And so that's just an interesting component, and I think there's probably a lot of different elements that we could look at that impact our freedom in the moment, other than fear. But I like to boil everything down to fear or love anyway. I put them in one of those two categories on like this macro level, this huge level. But then of course there's more, there's more specifics as you get into it. But I do think that part of that balance, that yin yang, is love and fear, life and death kind of thing. Not, those aren't synonymous, but I look at it love and fear kind of way. Anyway, so this is a quote. I think I did a podcast episode on this a couple months ago. But I really like this paragraph. This is page 96 from The Mastery of Self. So I'm going to read it to you and then maybe not say anything else about it. That would be fun, just to finish it and then shut the video off, but I'll probably comment on it because that's what I do. I can't stop talking. Hence another video today. All right. Without awareness, your domestication and attachments will corner you into taking actions that conform to the belief systems they have built. This is not free will, as you have given up your personal freedom in order to maintain ideas that were planted in you long ago. When trapped in the cycle of the automatic, you are by definition acting without awareness. You have traded in who you really are for who you think you should be. By living your life on autopilot in this way, without awareness of the possibilities that exist in you in every moment, you end up in the same situations over and over again, making the same choices, and then wonder why nothing ever changes. So you can see that there's overlap in all of these different things. I've been reading these series of books, reading this, and Joe Dispenza talks about we think 90% of the same thoughts from day to day. So if we're doing this, if we're thinking the same things every day, we're doing the same things every day, we're on autopilot. Our body's conditioned to respond a certain way. We talk about conditioning with athletes and sports. You want that guy so well trained to throw that football that no matter how big that person is come charging at him, he wants to be able to throw that football without being scared, or he wants to hit his mark every time. When he goes to hit that guy running to catch the ball, he's going to throw it to the same spot every time because of the training. I don't know football as much, but like, you want your drilling. You drill, you practice, you train because you want to condition yourself to behave a certain way in a certain circumstance, and that's great. And it's a great function of our bodies that we can do this. The problem is when we do it under the influence of fear or somebody else's recommendations or beliefs or our own beliefs, but their opinions of others. If we're in that dream of life, as he talks about, if we aren't doing it with awareness. So anything that's not done with perfect awareness is influenced by something else, and that conditioning then is going to put us in a system of behavior. I don't like the word system in that sentence. Distracted myself. But if we're not perfectly aware what we're doing, why we're doing it, when we're doing it, then we're under the influence of something else, and we are slightly less free-willed. And this gets into a really interesting topic because we all have belief systems, and with these belief systems, sometimes they control us. We're on autopilot with the belief system. We don't think about what we're doing anymore because we've already learned, we've been conditioned, this is what you do. When you are filling this role, this is how you behave. If you are a this, I don't want to get specific here. I want to, but I'm trying to not give anybody any potential for being upset. But if you're a this, and when you're a this, you do these things. When you're a north-going Zach, is that what the Dr. Seuss one was with the Zacks? North-going and south-going Zach, I think. When you're a north-going Zach, you go north. You don't deviate one way, one step to the east or the west or the south, nowhere. You go north. And when you got a south-going Zach and you guys are bumping bellies and there's nowhere to go, neither one of you can deviate because that's what you do. You're conditioned. You're locked in. So we don't want to be that way. Sometimes you need to think in the moment, aware, with full awareness. What is the thing for me to do right now? Not because this guy said it or that guy said it or this organization told me I should think this way, but because I want to right now. What should I do in that moment? Not influenced by what will people think of me or what will happen when or if. I mean, those are things to think about, but not, I guess, if I don't do this, what will happen to me? Will this refrigerator fall on my head and crush me? Everything I think is so violent. Cartoons, video games, I blame them. Let's all blame them. But I'm not serious blaming them, but I mean, it's part of the conditioning. When I grew up watching, everything was Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, destructive, dangerous things back then. So we can cite them as factors, but it's not about blame. But the point being that if in that moment, if I'm about to get crushed by a refrigerator, I make that decision, it is about safety. No, I lost it. I don't know what I was talking about. That's okay. I think I beat this one to death anyway. Again, with the violent words and imagery, I need to see a counselor. All right. Merry Christmas.